Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rocks with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. All right, rock stars. So today is not going to be the most fun top of the blogs. I don't feel like any of my topics were really anything exciting, but there is some discussion that needs to be had. First things first, I want to remind everybody out there, make sure that you either early vote. I thought I was going to do it Saturday and I didn't. And every day this week I said I was going to go after work and I still haven't made it, but I am going to work really hard to get there today. But you best believe my vote will be cast somewhere between today and Tuesday. It is so important, you guys. Yesterday I was sitting and watching CNN and I just was laughing to myself of how much calamity and chaos that our world is in. The United States in particular, I mean, it has been one mess after another. Every single day. I know these political correspondents ain't never made as much money as they have in these past 2 years because they stay talking about y'all stupid ass president. It's just always something. And now that this vote is, now that the election is coming up and so much is riding on it, the fact that the Democrats need to take over the House and the Senate, it is just so imperative. You guys, have you seen what your stupid ass president is now saying? That he can pretty much do without the 14th Amendment, and these kids that are born to illegal immigrants, now he's saying that he can revoke their citizenship, that they are not citizens of the United States because they still have illegal immigrants. And I mean, this has already been there. It's been protected all this time. He thinks that he can do it with an executive order. It's just, foolishness, you guys, just craziness. And I honestly, every single day look at CNN and I just can't believe the state of our union right now. So yeah, it's so important. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying, that your vote don't count and, don't get out and don't listen to the people. But I'm just trying to tell you that you don't need to listen to those folks, okay? Now, you didn't try it that way before, and that might be the reason why or maybe some of the reason why we are in the predicament that we are in right now. And these midterm elections, which people usually don't even participate in, there's been so much fervor drummed up about it that I think that, more people are making it a point to do it this time. But it has to be done. It has to be done every single day. Y'all stupid ass president come up with something else. He's fear mongering. He's trying to scare his base into thinking that, if they continue to vote red, that, he's going to do all of these things. And a lot of these things is just a whole bunch of talk. It is really honestly depressing. And that's why I hate talking about politics. But this is something that we just cannot avoid talking about. You have to get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. Hopefully we can make some differences, because it is really honestly just crazy. It is crazy out there. Another really sad story this week, the Pittsburgh shooting, the synagogue in Pittsburgh. They say that 46-year-old Robert Bowers went into the Tree of Life Congregation Synagogue in Pittsburgh. It's an affluent Squirrel Hill neighborhood. He was spewing hate for Jews, and he opened fired on people that were worshiping there. They said that this went on for 20 minutes and that in that 20 minutes he killed 11 people. And this was somewhere right before 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. Robert Bowers was apprehended by the police, and now prosecutors are saying that they are going to seek the death penalty, which we already knew. Okay. He's charged with 29 criminal counts, including 11 federal hate crime charges, another 11 counts of using a firearm to kill, and they carry a maximum penalty of death. He definitely will get the death penalty for this, and it won't take long. Because of the laws that were passed for Timothy McVeigh, now they can speed shit up real fast if they have to. This is a case that will be exactly that way. Very sad for the 11 victims that were in there. All of them were over 50 years old. Just sad. You get to live your life. One of them, I believe, was 97 years old. 97 years old, have seen so much in their life and survived it all, only to die in their church. That is a sobering and sad thought. A tragic ending to a long life, okay, who even at 97 years old has still taken the time to go to church and pray, okay? Just anyway, you guys, the 11 that were killed, their names: Daniel Stein, 71 years old; Joyce Feinberg, 75; Richard Gottfried, 65; Rose Mallinger, 97 years old; Jerry Rabinowitz, 66; brothers Cecil Rosenthal, 59, and David Rosenthal, 54; husband and wife Bernice Simmons, 84, and Sylvan Simmons, 86 years old; Melvin Wax, 88 years old, and Irvin Younger, 69 years old. All of these people to get into their golden years just to be gunned down in their synagogue. Let's continue to pray for those that were killed, the families and the friends of these people, that community, that city, state, our country. Okay, it is under attack in so many ways. And this story is really upsetting to have to report because these people were just so old. And again, speaking of y'all stupid ass president, while all of this destruction is going on in our country, your president still has a job to do. He's still holding fucking rallies. On the day that 11 people were killed in their synagogue, he had a rally, and when he came out, he played Happy. Okay? Because I'm happy. Really? You are playing a song that's supposed to be universal and celebrating the fact that we are happy about our surroundings. And you got people that were killed. What type of leader? Who does that? I think that is the most callous thing that you can do when the nation is hurting. When you have a community of people that have been gunned down, you have a community of people that are under attack: Jews, Muslims, blacks, gays, disabled, the Latin community. It's just, why are you... These people continue to be attacked over and over and over again, and you fucking holding rallies out there. Throw salt in the wound and say that, these people would have been protected had they had an armed guard at the door. Really, who are churches? I guess today, in this day and age, that is something that needs to be looked into, okay? But historically, people don't have armed guards at the doors of their worship. It's definitely something to think about now. And that's really a sad thought as well. Like, I'm trying to pray, and here we got, somebody looking like it's about to be Armageddon at the back of the damn church. Oh, it's just... Anyway, the writer and creator of the song Happy, Pharrell, had his lawyers send a cease and desist to Donald Trump, expressing those same sentiments. Yeah, no, we can't, you can't play this damn song no more. Don't play it when you walk out. Don't play it in your car. Don't play it in your iPod. You don't have permission to play this song ever again, at least not in public. What happened to him playing My Way? Wasn't he playing Frank Sinatra's My Way at some point? Did the family tell him not to do that shit either? At any rate, I think that was a wonderful decision on Pharrell's part. Okay, even though I'm sick of that song. We don't need anything to connect the darkness of y'all stupid ass president to such a bright and happy song. Then in North Carolina, evidently a student by the name of Jatwan Craig Cuffey, 16 years old, and I think he was a freshman at Butler High School. He had been being bullied, they say, by 16-year-old Bobby McKeithen, and it had been happening over some time. The students in the school did know about it. That usually is how it goes. But on this particular morning, right around 7 a.m., Jatwan and Bobby got into a fight in the hallways. Jatwan ended up pulling out a gun and shot Bobby McKeithen dead. They say that he actually died. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. Jatwan was arrested and he's charged with first-degree murder. And it's an unfortunate story because now 2 families have lost their boys. Okay, he's probably going to go to jail for a good portion of his adult life, and another child is dead and gone, never to be, seen again by his mother and father. Just sad all the way around. The bullying situation is bad in these schools, and there are a lot of teens that cannot handle the hazing that goes on in these schools nowadays. I don't even know what the schools can do to try to combat it. I've said this before in the past. When I was young, we all was bullied. I can remember some terrible times that people would say, terrible things that people would say about me. But it stopped when I left school. Once I got off the bus and was at my house, I didn't have to deal with it anymore. There was some reprieve. I could get myself back together, and I could, be with my friends in my neighborhood, and I could, it was different. And then I would have to deal with it again the next day at school, and then eventually it just, it never got that bad for me. But now, because of social media, kids from different schools and different communities, they can bully you. And so it's just a different time for this generation. I always feel sorry for this generation, including my children that are in this age group where they have to deal with these kind of things. I mean, these kids have to deal with so many things that we never had to deal with. And it just reminds us that we have to pray over our children and make sure that they are safe while they are away from us, because these schools then became a damn war zone as well. And while you pray for your own children, pray for all these other kids that are in these schools that have to face things that we never had to face, have to deal with things that we never had to deal with. But in particular, we're praying for both the McKeithen and the Cuffey families. Like I said, they have lost a lot. Okay, their friends, again, that school, students that had to see that. They said that it was pandemonium after the shooting happened, which I'm sure it was. Parents that were dropping their kids off that morning, they all of a sudden seen kids come running out of the building, and hearing that there was an active shooter in the school. The school did go into immediate lockdown. Some parents did go and pick up their children, but I believe because it was an isolated one-on-one fight, they didn't believe that he was apprehended, I believe, right away. They did not end up closing school that day. And some students did remain on campus until, school was out, but it was closed the next day. So some people are saying that they, should have actually shut the school down that day. I'm sure it was not business as usual. And maybe these children, some of them just didn't have anywhere to go. And they had to make sure that they housed them. The safety of these children was first on the list. But I'm sure it was locked down and nobody else was getting in that school. But again, I just prayers up for all people that were involved in that shooting. So sad. And again, pray for y'all kids out there, you guys. They facing a lot. All right, you guys. So let me get off of some of the serious things, and let's just talk about the transracial girl that was on Dr. Phil. Treasure, Monique, which was her mother, and Kendall, which was her little brother. They were all on Dr. Phil's show the other day. And she was talking about how she identified herself as a white person. Okay, now Treasure looked just like your homegirl from down the street. My color complexion, and has very much black features. She's on the show and she's talking about she's never going to be like y'all niggas out there. That, she identifies with Kim Kardashian. I was just like, somebody tweeted me the clip of the show, and I watched that little clip, and I was able to ascertain from that one little clip that this bitch was lying. Okay, now I'm sorry I had to call her a bitch because she, all out her name. The child is 16 years old, but I was just like, why do they put these kind of people on these shows when I am able to see just the layman, just a person that's observing from the couch of their living room? If I can tell that this girl is lying, why are you guys putting shows? See, this is my problem that I have with the Dr. Phil's and let me tread lightly, because y'all was so mad at me when I said that I didn't see it for y'all auntie Iyanla. So let me just kind of clarify how I feel about Iyanla real fast. I don't really have a problem per se with Iyanla Vanzant. I had to sit back and think about it, and I think that my issue is with the show itself. Now, when Iyanla Vanzant first came out, I read her books, and I loved her books, and I thought that she was effective in the things that she was saying, and it made me feel good, and it made sense to me. And I even remember watching her show before it got this exploitative spin on it by having these reality show people on there. And I believe, honestly, that is when my opinion started to turn for her, because I feel like you have people on this show that are known basket cases that are not really willing to do the work, and you have them on here for TV's sake. That is what made me turn. So it wasn't necessarily Iyanla Vanzant and her measures that she takes to try to help these people, but I feel like the show can be exploitative. And I believe that Dr. Phil, in this case especially, this is a great example. Like, y'all knew that girl was lying. Turns out, yeah, she was lying. Her sister, she has an older sister who did not go on this TV show with her. She came out and said, she lying. Her and my mama and my brother wanted a free trip to Los Angeles, and that is why they went. She does have a stepfather who is white. We didn't never think that was our real father like they portrayed on the show. She has black friends. She hangs out with black people. All of this was just a guise to get onto the show. And honestly, you could sit there and like it was just so obvious to me. So that is more of the issue that I have with the shows. People are willing to kind of say and do anything to get on these shows and have their little 15 minutes of fame, and then it comes out later that they was bullshit. And honestly, if I were to think about it, Iyanla Vanzant, to me, has kind of clouded her name because of this fact. Like, I really wish that she would go back to just trying to help regular people that don't have a motive in mind to just be on another show because they're on reality shows. And, you know, we already saw in the reality show the shit that was happening to them. So now we're going to go on Iyanla Vanzant's Fix My Life show and get some more camera time. Like, that's more of the problem that I have with her show, I should say. So I just wanted to clarify that, because boy, y'all was mad at me. I got a whole bunch of dislikes for that. So I hope that made more sense. But you know, this situation with Dr. Phil, it just makes black folks look crazy getting up there saying some shit like that. Evidently Treasure is on the run from CPS. She dropped out of high school and they haven't been able to find her. You know, she got into some problems. You know, the sister called her a hustler, said that she's, you know, banned from CVS. I can pretty much imagine why. And yeah, so it's a lot of other issues there. So do you guys understand what I'm saying when I say that I have more of a problem with the shows than the actual people themselves? I'm not always sure if they're out there to try and help these people. That's all I was saying. I saw yesterday that Tyler Perry had decided that he was going to kill off Madea, and I was just like, I'm not no big Tyler Perry fan as far as his movies are concerned. I did tell you guys how much respect I have for the man for that studio, though. It is something to behold, child. The fact that he was able to build something like that, starting off from the car, Chitlin Circuit plays, and I mean, just to get to that point, oh, it's just admirable, and you just really can't say shit about Tyler Perry, but his movies are not really my favorite. Okay, now of course I did like the big hits that he had, and I think I like more of his older movies compared to his newer movies, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Madea is a character who is dear to my heart. I love Madea. I don't care what movie Madea has been in, she will always get a laugh out of me. I think that is a genius character, and I know that he's gotten a lot of flack for being her, and he's probably tired of being her. He said that he created her in 1999 with her, you know, his first play. Did I spit? I'm sorry, you guys. I Can Do Bad by Myself, I believe was the name of the play. You guys remember all of the DVDs of the plays that were going around originally and just how fucking funny they were. You know, he was able to parlay all of that into the studio, y'all, the studio. He built that studio on Medea's back. I'm sorry. So now, 20 years later, he is ready to kill off the character. He has a movie coming out called Medea's Family Funeral, or something like that. And I actually was sad about that. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, if you don't have Madea in your movies no longer, I don't even know if I'm gonna be really clamoring. I mean, it wasn't like I was clamoring to see any Tyler Perry movies anyway, but now that Madea, I mean, I even saw the Madea, the Halloween movies. As bad as I thought that second one was, I still thought it was funny because of Madea. I was just like, gosh, I don't know if that's smart to get rid of the character, but I can understand him saying that he's just tired of doing her, you know. He doesn't want to be synonymous with Madea, but I kind of really already feel like he is. Okay, even when we see Tyler Perry in a serious role, we can see a little bit of something of Madea in him. And I guess that's a good and a bad thing. I mean, I get it. I really do get it. But I was sad. I was just like, no more Madea. Yeah, that Madea is funny as hell. And some of the things that Madea says, it looks like it's just be off the cuff. It's just a genius character. You know, somebody said, do you think anybody would care in my comments about it? And I was like, yeah, I actually care. Okay, I hate to see Madea go. I don't even know if I would see that movie because you know how Tyler Perry has he has a proclivity to bring on the sadness in the most dramatic and you know how he can be. So you already know how this funeral gonna be, and he gonna have the live angels hanging from the ceilings and shit, and he gonna be having somebody singing, you know, a heart-wrenching gospel song, and it's probably gonna be way too much for me. But yeah, Mr. Perry, if you out there listening, I don't want you to do it to old Madea. God, I really do love Madea, child. I done talked about Madea for 4 minutes. That's how much I do love Madea. How y'all feel about Madea being gone? I just can't believe it, y'all. I can't believe it. And then lastly, in quickies, you guys, let's send our prayers up to Tina Turner. They're saying that she is having some health complications and that it's looking like her body may be rejecting this kidney. Now, remember I told you guys a few weeks ago that her husband donated a kidney to her. Her kidneys had failed, so she got a donated kidney. You know, your body goes through all of these changes and it doesn't recognize your new organ. So you start to have all of these other problems because of it. They're also saying that she has stomach cancer and that she's battling that. Her spokesman has not confirmed any of this, but in her book, she did say in 2016 she was diagnosed with intestinal cancer, but they had removed that part of her intestines, and I believe they thought that she was free from it. But now I think that's where this other part of the stomach cancer has come about. Again, like I said, they have not confirmed that, so we don't know that. But, you know, Miss Turner is an older woman, and as far as her kidney issue, I'm sure that she can stand extra prayers to help her get through it, because they say that rejection is really, really horrible to go through, and, you know, you have many bad and sickening side effects. So prayers up for Miss Tina Turner. Jermaine Dupri believes that all of these folks that have decided to boycott the Super Bowl aren't using their power and influence correctly. Now, namely, Jay-Z and Rihanna have said that they would not perform at the Super Bowl because they are in support of Colin Kaepernick. Jermaine Dupri sees that as not effective. It would be a better thing for them to use their platforms to get up there and say whatever they want to say, you know, exercise their right to free speech when they're on stage. I understand what Jermaine Dupri is saying. But in Jay-Z and Rihanna's case especially, they don't need a Super Bowl to express how they feel or to have a platform where they reach millions of people, okay? They can reach millions of people on their own. So Jay-Z and Rihanna don't really need Super Bowl to put a message out there, and probably their boycott would mean more by them staying away than them performing there and then saying something on stage. Now, for a lesser known act or you know, a group or artist that was performing there, I mean, yeah, I can understand you could possibly use that, but I'm sure there would be a lot of blowback as well for an artist that does not have that same stature, that same power that, you know, Jay-Z and Rihanna has, that won't get affected by, you know, some negative things that might be said about them. Other people might be affected differently, and they get up there and say something during the Super Bowl, and then their career is turned upside down. I mean, look what happened to Janet Jackson years and years and years ago, and the world today is nothing like it was back then when she did it. So I understand what Jermaine Dupri is saying, but I also understand why some people would decide to just stay away and not bother. And then lastly, in the super quickies, Little Mo, she wants to be a lawyer now. People was laughing and guffawing at it. And, you know, when I read that, the only reason why I had to kind of give it a second look is because of the stunts that Little Mo has pulled on these different reality shows. That is the only reason why I had some pause to it. But then, you know, I thought about it and was just like, there's no reason why this girl can't go to law school and, you know, apply herself. If she wants to be a lawyer and she feels like she's able to do it and she's capable, she's able to get into law school, then why not? I just hope that she's serious and not just using this another stunt, because y'all know how Lil Mo can be. But I don't think the girl is stupid. And a lot of things that we do in life is just because how we apply ourselves. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to have like these immense brains and, you know, but you work hard. Working hard usually wins over talent. 95% of people that work hard will leave those other people in the dust, people that are super talented, because a lot of times people that are talented are also lazy. And if they realize that, you know, things have come to them easily and they think that it's going to just come to them in that case as well. Not always the case. Okay, so yeah, I don't have a problem with Lil Mo. More power to her. I would love to get up here and say that she's got her degree and give her the, you know, the fist pump of righteousness. Okay, we need more black women lawyers out there, so I'm not mad. Beyonce's Phony Braxton costume that she posted yesterday, loved it. Okay, somebody wanted me to do a little you know, blurb about it, and so, you know, but Beyonce always kills her Halloween costumes where she dresses up like her favorite artist. You know, she's even done Janet Jackson. We've seen her do a lot of people. So yeah, the costume was cute. I thought it was on point. Loved it. And lastly, happy birthday belatedly to Nita Nichelle. Okay, I think her birthday was yesterday. She's 39 years old. Happy birthday to you. Hopefully you had a wonderful day on your birthday. Continue to celebrate it over this weekend. Rock stars, I don't know what kind of damn top of the blogs this was, but I'm gonna put it out there for y'all. Okay, we do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars, bye.